Alright, welcome to the Third Strike Primer for Remy, the emo boy of the Third Strike cast. As you can see, he's a charged character, and if you ever need to look at this, you can skip back to the beginning and check this out. The super we're going to talk about, we're just using this video, is super number 2, but super number 1 is of use in some places also, in some matchups. So, you know, I guess in some situations it comes down to preference, at least for me it does, but for the majority of the time, unless you're using super number 1 for punishes, I think you should go with super number 2. That being said, let's move on. Alright, so Remy, he has Sonic Boom stuff, high-low ones, and you know, some people think that he is the bastard child of Guile. You know, maybe when Guile was in France on tour, and you know, maybe he had a bastard child, and that's why Remy's so, you know, depressed, because he doesn't know who his father is, and they left him. Alright, I'm sorry. Anyway, let's get to the let's get to well, that's why he's such an emo boy. Okay, so let's get to Remy's normals. He has his jab. This is okay. Crouching jab is much better. Standing strong is good, very good against taller characters and some jump-ins on some distances. This crouching strong is very good too. Gonna use that a lot. Standing fierce, used in some situations. Crouching fierce, it is, you know, it launches them. You can hit them again after. It can be used as anti-air, but you pretty much only want to use it if they already stick an attack out. If they haven't sticked an attack out, then they can parry it, and it's only one hit. Some characters do have trouble punishing it though, so you know, even when they parry it, sometimes you'll be able to tech throw with them, and you both will tech away from each other. But just test it out, see how you can use it. And then his short, you'll use that too. He uses it for some stuff. Standing short, he uses it. Crouching medium kick, he uses it. It's his longest like poke. Standing medium, he'll probably use it, yeah. Standing roundhouse, he'll probably use it sometimes, yeah. Sweep, never use this move. The person, not only is it not safe on block, but it's really not safe on block, because the person that has gone across this before that's half decent will block the first kick and just walk up, down parry the second kick, and then do their full, you know, their max damage punish to Remy. So don't do his sweep unless you parried something and it's a guaranteed knockdown. Okay, so his air moves, nothing really amazing. His roundhouse, I guess, his medium punch, and the one really good thing though is his fierce. Let's show you what his fierce does. Oops, Remy, when he hits someone air to air with the fierce, they go into a juggle state. So, as you can see, doing that will pop them up, and you can do a flash kick, you know, whatever you want after that. Typically you would do a flash kick. And Remy can use it as, you know, the enemy player jumped at you and then you jump and do it, or he can do it as he's jumping in, and if they're, you know, jumping away or jumping, you know, jump after you, it still works, and you can juggle after it. So it has more uses than just one thing. Alright, so let's get into his special moves. He has, of course, Light of Virtue High, Light of Virtue Low. The Fierce versions go faster. EX is high and low. And then he has his Cold Blue Kick. This move, if they block it and you hit this really late, like just right there, if that guy blocked it and the Cold Blue Kick hit right by his foot, it has very small, has a small recovery frame, so it's hard to punish if you do the distance right, and a lot of times you can just immediately dash back. By the way, Remy's dash back is really good. His forward dash is pretty good too. One thing about Remy is that, see, I'm holding down right now, but he still has a lot of movement, and I think he does something with his hair. I'll actually wait. Yeah, see, he did. Yeah, he's such a bastard, such an emo boy, hipster. But anyway, hipster, emo boy. Sorry if you're a hipster or an emo boy. I'm not trying to offend either one of you bastards. Okay, so he has his flash kick. That's a chain, standing light to medium, or standing short. You can do multiple hits of the light. So Remy, when he throws people in the corner, a neutral throw, he can hit them after with a flash kick. That was a fierce or a roundhouse flash kick, so the heavy version. So don't skimp on the damage, do the fierce. And he can do this against most characters. Some characters he can't though, so careful of that. He has his other overhead, which is forward and medium kick. Moves him forward. You know, it will hit from a good distance, so you can do it quite far out there, you know. See, I'm at this can, and I'm still hitting him. So, it hits from quite a far distance. As far as going into supers, you'll want to use medium kick, standing medium kick. You see how they reel back, and it's you have more time. This is a link right here, so you go. That's something that you can dash up, throw it out, and if it hits, go ahead and press the button to super. His crouching medium punch can be canceled into super, so that's his like, if you're gonna counter poke into super, that's what you would use. Counter poke into any of your special moves, actually, you know. So that's what you would use, and but if you're gonna try to go for the hit confirmation, you know, like immediate close, like go for a low, because Remy has a pretty threatening grab. You should, of course, use it a lot. Like I say in all my videos, you should be trying to throw people a lot anyway, but of course he has the extra bonus from doing more damage off of a throw, which is decent damage. So when you're doing, you know, low shorts into throws and stuff like that, that would be the opportunity to mix up into that linked standing medium kick. Also, it would be your meaty if you want to hit them on their wake up. It stays out there really far and for a good amount of time, and of course, like I said, you have a good amount of time to hit confirm it too. Alright, so his close standing medium punch is this. It's cancelable into move. Let me see if I can do the standing into flash kick. Yeah, so it's cancelable into that. His jabs are very good. As you can see, you can combo into each other. Remy can dash up, his dash is pretty good, and like I said, you want to throw people as much as you can with Remy. Remy has a car grab, it's standing medium punch, and into throw. You can see it's pretty good. The forward, you can do it standing medium punch, and you can do it forward medium punch. For some reason I get more distance on medium punching, but it could be just because he takes that little normal walking step. I don't know. I don't study the frame data. I just know how to do moves. Anyway, like I said, you're able to dash up sometimes a lot because you have your zoning and stuff like this. So it's not common for people to sit there and wait to parry these. Or I mean, it's not uncommon, or just to for them to block that. So you can do stuff like be out here and throwing these out, and then going for a throw, and of course hit the flash kick after that. But why I was telling you that is because, like, sometimes you'll want they'll start taking your throws, so you'll do stuff like dash up. Oh, I forgot about that chain. Dash up. Standing medium punch or medium kick to roundhouse is another chain. but you'll do stuff like dash up into that super. So you can also do stuff like dash up short or crouching jab jab into flash kick. So as you can see, he can combo. He has enough time after 2 jabs to do a flash kick. Also, for some reason, it's easier to combo into from universal overhead to super number 2 with Remy than other characters. I don't really know why that is. Maybe his universal overhead is just a little better, but for some reason it is. I'll try it right now again. So let's talk about a couple other things with Remy. He is, of course, primarily a fireball kind of zoning character, and as you can see, he can throw his light of virtues out at a pretty high success rate. And you can start throwing in EXs, and I'm not very good at this. You can get this down even better. Start mixing in different strengths and EXs and stuff like that. But as you can see, he can start throwing that out. And the cool thing about Third Strike is, you know, you got to think about projectiles in a different way. When people parry things in projectiles in Third Strike, it gets rid of the parry, yes, but they're stuck in that position. So they parry that fireball, and then you get to dash. Like, let's say you full screen, they parry it, you get to dash. So you know that they're not going to be moving during the parry, you know. So you get to use when they're parrying stuff full screen, and you know, from a good distance away, you get to set up your own like spacing, but don't get into their normal range, because after they parry, they can immediately throw out their normal, you know what I mean? So just get into a position as far as, you know, where you want to be. Maybe you want to get right outside their like longest like poke range and sit right outside there, and then continue to throw more stuff and just be antagonizing that way. You know, when you have them in the corner like this and you're kind of just bugging the shit out of them, they're gonna want to jump out of the corner, because they're looking, you know, they want to cross you up or something. They're looking for an easy way to just put an end to this, right? So you know they're gonna be looking to jump out of the corner, and that's when you have your jumping fierce ready. And they jump out, and you do a super jump early fierce, and you hit them either on their way up if you do it early enough, or at the peak of their jump. And at the peak of the jump, like I said, not many people are parrying way up here, because they're parrying down here, because, you know, this is where a lot of characters' anti-airs are. You know, people release flash kicks when the other character is falling right near their head, you know. So that's how this fierce gets to hit. Of course, you should always mix that up. You know, you're antagonizing them, and they jump, so you dash under and then hit them with, you know, just... Remy's not really like a huge combo, you know, take a bunch of their life at one time unless they hit a super kind of thing. You know, if you dash under and hit, if the guy jumps over you and you dash under him and you just hit him with a medium punch, you know, you poke him out of the air that way, and they bounce away from you, you know, that's good. Remy plays that game all day. He'll poke you and run away and then throw something and then get in your face again, you know, set you up for a throw, and then set himself up again. So Remy definitely has, he's always setting things up and controlling the space and movement of the game. That's what he wants to do anyway. If you struggle at a matchup or maybe against a certain player, Remy's going to be tough for you, because, like I said, you do need to control the match almost the whole time to win with Remy. He is tough to... I guess what I'm saying is, even though you might be in a huge lead with Remy, it only takes like 1 or 2 mess-ups and that round might be over for you. 1, because Remy has low life, and number 2, Remy, other than his EX flash kick, doesn't really have get-off-me moves. because one, it's tough because after Remy parries, if he doesn't have a super, he can't really punish you very well because he is a charge character. So it's not like if he wakes up and he parries, he can go like standing strong into the flash kick or even down to flash kick, because there's just not enough time to meet the requirements of your charge. So if you don't have if you parry, you should go into like something like that and just super. If you don't have a super, again, it's not as scary for the other player, because if Remy parries the other player, the punish isn't going to be anything too crazy. So it's easy for Remy to get, I guess, comebacked on in a lot of situations. So that's why I say Remy has to control the match all the way until the other character is dead. So also with Remy, you can see that, you know, with throwing his Light of Virtues, he can use the cold blue kick to kind of like use distance, get different distances, and move in fairly safely. So you don't have to dash if you don't want to. I think you should use it sometimes. Even if you throw out a random fierce one, you know, some people parry that and then start dashing because they think you're going to throw another one, so they want to dash up and then like block or parry that one, but they gained ground. So some people, you know, they'll throw that out, they'll parry that, and then Remy will cold blue kick their dash. A safer kind of version of that would be just throwing out the X after. You know, you want to retaliate, you want to throw something out there really quick to stop their dash or whatever, but you're not quite sure if they're going to do that. You don't have a good read, so maybe you would throw out the EX instead of doing the cold blue kick. Blah. So yeah, I mentioned his command grab. I mean his car grab. His neutral jump, you want to use roundhouse. It hits like right there, right? You can do stuff like that, and then if you're here, it's about right at this distance right here, and then you can do stuff like walk forward, car throw, and stuff like that. It's especially good on against other charge characters. So just keep in mind, his neutral jumping roundhouse is what you want to use when you're near them. You can, of course, if they're in the air, use your fierce too. The neutrals is the same as the angle jump. So Remy has stuff like that. Remy has some pretty cool stuff in the corner. He's pretty good at lockdown. Even after a few bouts, he's still in range to antagonize and do stuff like that. See how late that cold blue kick hit? That would be hard to reverse or punish. The light one right there. But yeah, sometimes on Remy's wake up, because it's very easy to release his flash kick, if the person is standing right above you as Remy's waking up, sometimes he does little gimmicky stuff like low short flash kick, you know, because, you know, the Ken player is very confident, he's in front of you, he's like, you know, he's standing up, like probably kind of telegraphing a throw or like a strong fierce meaty or something, or I'm sorry, not a meaty, but like a delayed strong fierce, because a meaty of course will beat a wake up short, but if they delay, if they kind of start playing that like I'm gonna kind of just sit here and walk back for a half of a second when you wake up to block the flash kick, and then if no flash kick comes, they'll walk forward and throw you or do their strong fierce or whatever. So that's when Remy would do something like a low short, a wake up low short flash kick. Some of the jumping combos, you know, a lot of Remy players do this. Oh, if I can combo it. It's just some extra confirms. Jumping Fierce to crouching medium to low Light of Virtue. So you can cancel the Light of Virtue's startup to super. So yeah, I mean that's about it. Remy is a simple character to play, but a hard character to win with. He's kind of like Alex and a few other characters that are lower down on the tier list. But doesn't mean he can't win, and it doesn't mean that you can't have a lot of fun learning and playing a character like this. Definitely very rewarding a win with Remy because he has such a unique style in Third Strike. I guess that is it, guys. I'm not a Remy master or anything, but hopefully that can help you get started if you were interested in Remy. So I'll see you guys later.